Hello, everyone. What is that? Now I'm streaming to level up, check out. Lord have mercy. I don't even know what that is. Hey, Miss Dolores. Hello there. How are you? Happy Wednesday. Thank you so very much. Hey, Lolita. Hey, Diamond. Hello. Grand Rising, everyone. Hey, Blessed One. How are you? Hey, Teresa. Johanna. Hello there. Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a great Wednesday so far. As for myself, I'm doing great. Doing great today. Today is actually a great day. I'm feeling really good today. I hope you guys are feeling the same. Alrighty, guys. So, couple announcements. First things first. My Bigo people, I am coming to you guys today. Okay, I will be get to you guys right after this show. We did have a discussion yesterday about me recording my Bigo lives. Apparently, there's some YouTubers that are recapping my content, as well as TikTokers that are currently recapping a lot of my content, guys. So I have figured out a way to record. So today's Bigo show will be recorded, but with all my Bigo shows will only be available on savageroyalty.com. Okay, it will not be posted on YouTube, so don't be looking for it. It will only be on savageroyalty.com. So today's show will be recorded for you guys that don't get a chance to watch me over there. Okay. Um, in regards to the moms overseeing motherhood's mission, I'm still waiting for some of you guys to send your resources for the directory. Wow, what, Miss Dolores? What, me recording? Yeah, I there a lot of people have been recapping from the people on Bigo were telling me, the Royals on the Bigo side. They're like, Savage, a lot of people are recording you, and you need to start recording your Bigo show. So yeah, so I have it is going to be recorded today. Well, I'm going to test it. I have it recording for my camera. It will not be with all the comments from Bigo or anything like that, but it will be the show itself, which is way more important than the comments. A lot of people don't even like the comments and the gifs going across the screen. So it will be recorded as a normal video for you guys. So a little bit of extra content will be available only on savageroyalty.com. Okay. And that is that. Now, if you guys have not don't know about this month's raffle, the way that you enter is simply by sending a super sticker, okay? And you are entered into this month's raffle. Hey, Monique, which will be announced at the beginning of May, okay? So every time that you send, you do get an entry for every single time that you send a super sticker or whatever type of sticker, regardless of what it is. You will be able to get entered. Hey, Aries, how are you? Finally catching you live. Hey, Unconventional. Hello there. Oh, so my schedule for you can know, Aries, my schedule is Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when I go live. I have getting people asking me, when do I go live over here? Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern is when I go live. I'm also thinking about throwing in a Saturday show in there as well, but I'm still thinking on that because my Saturdays are really slow. I really don't be doing nothing. Most of my schoolwork is done. And I feel like that I will be able to give you a great show on Saturday, but I will let you guys know at a future date if I decide to do so. Okay. Alrighty, guys. Have you guys been watching this case? This Karmelo Anthony situation in Austin Metcalf? When I say that this story, it's a sad situation on both sides. Let's start there. Okay. But this story is being used as a way to divide the masses. And I have seen many stories be covered, but this is one of those stories where now trolls are beginning to create posts and things of that nature to throw division within the investigation, things that do not exist. There even someone that posted a fake autopsy report, someone that posted a fake statement from the chief of police. There's a lot that is going, and you can literally look at the message and tell that it is fake. But people that don't know, hey, oh, already, I thought you just came in. I'm so used to speaking to people. When I seen morning, I'm instantly ready to say good grand rising or good morning. But there are people that are just throwing things in the midst of a very sad situation. Okay. So I have been watching this case for the last couple of days just to see how it's going to spin. And when I tell you it's spinning badly. Okay. So we are going to get into, and you guys know I'm very much fact based. I don't really like to run with the narrative unless I have proof of anything. I like to stick to the facts. So a lot of the things in which I'm going to talk about are the things that you guys can verify for yourself. And then when we go on the Beagle side of things, we're going to read the affidavit in completion to also get the facts out of there as well. And just, talk about the story because it's something that a lot of people are discussing and it is a discussion that needs to be had. Bullying is on the floor here. It's a lot that is on the floor here and that we're going to discuss. So for those of you who do not know, the base of this story. This happened out in Frisco, Texas. And this is the case of Karmelo Anthony, okay, and Austin Metcalf, okay. Now, Karmelo Anthony, what I'm seeing is that they're trying to paint him as a thug. The typical black thug is what people are trying to put out there for him. This is not the case, okay. This is a young man that come from and I'm saying black thug because that's what they're trying to the narrative that is trying to be spent right here. Okay. This is not the case. Karmelo Anthony, athlete, scholarships, two-parent household. I seen that stereotype being thrown out there. He's not a boy that comes from a single parent. Okay. This is not a boy that is in the streets. This is not a boy that is out here on drugs. This boy actually has assisted in someone also almost losing their lives before. Okay. Many people spoke highly of Carmelo's name. All right. Now, and the same thing goes for Austin. There was also a picture that is floating around of Karmelo holding an airsoft weapon. Okay. People spent that. Meanwhile, there's also pictures of Austin holding weapons. There was a picture of Karmelo holding up the middle finger. There's pictures of Austin holding up a middle finger. They both come from two-parent households, great background when it comes to their parents, but how we got here is a whole nother different thing. Bullying is on the table here, and just why is why did all this happen? Okay, so Austin Metcalf is 17 years old. All right, he went to Frisco Memorial High School. He was in the 11th grade. He described as his family as being very much ambitious, well loved, and aspiring college athlete. He also played multiple sports as well, along with his brother Hunter, his twin brother, by the way. And then when you have Karmelo, he went to Frisco Continental High School. He is 17 years old, and he has officially been charged with first-degree murder, and he's currently sitting on a $1 million bond. And as I gave you guys his background already, comes from a very great background, athletic, played track and field. He also did football as well. He did some community efforts along with his background too. Okay. Now, this incident had occurred at the UIL District 11 5A Championship track meet out there in Frisco, Texas. And they're saying that it happened sometime before the hour of 5 p.m. Okay. Now, they're saying that the conditions of the outdoors is very much important in this case. And it was apparently a big rainstorm that was happening during the time of this stabbing. Okay. So the initial confrontation happened where Karmelo Anthony was reportedly sitting under a memorial tent. Okay. Memorial High School's tent. Now, as we can tell, this is Austin's high school tent. Many times when it comes to sports, things, they have designated areas for designated teams in schools. Okay. And apparently Karmelo was on Memorial side inside of a tent. From my understanding, he ran under the tent due to the rain that was happening. Many kids began to run different places because of the storm. So during the trigger event, okay, Austin Metcalf had asked Anthony to leave the tent, and a verbal altercation had then begun to escalate. So witnesses do report that Anthony had allegedly warned Metcalf, touch me and see what happens. Metcalf had reportedly pushed Anthony, and Anthony allegedly responded by pulling out a knife from his bag and stabbing Metcalf in the chest. Okay, hey, Elizabeth. So post the incident, so Anthony had fled the scene shortly. He was then captured. Okay, he didn't get far. Metcalf had collapsed and began asking for help. Okay, first responders had arrived and attempted to perform life-saving measures on him. Austin was transported to the hospital and later pronounced deceased. So a bloody knife was then recovered from the bleachers. Officers had quickly photographed the weapon before it could be compromised by the rain. Okay. So more than 30 witnesses, including students and coaches, had observed the stabbing. There's also some apparent evidence of the stabbing on video as well. Witnesses did confirm that the sequence of escalation in the altercation did happen, and Anthony reportedly has stated unprompted, "I'm not alleged, I did it." Okay. He also asked the police if Metcalf was okay, okay, and would he survive. He said, and he also told the police that he was defending himself. That was some of his first statements, okay? Now, in the legal developments of this case, Anthony is currently charged with first degree as stated. The defense attorney does argue self-defense, and Anthony's legal team is attempting to reduce the $1 million bond that he is currently being held on. So the Next Generation Action Network, who was working along with the family, has raised concerns about the threats against Anthony's family and urged for fair and impartial investigation, okay? Because his family is receiving a lot of threats due to this. And when I say a lot of threats, they're coming from a racial standpoint, okay? This is one of those cases that is have a very deep racial divide that is happening across social media, okay? From people picking sides and things of that nature on a racist base or race type of base, okay? So, when it comes to the state of Texas, a lot of people are also debating on would he be able to claim self-defense. Now, when it comes to Texas, Texas have the stand your ground doctrine, which in Texas, there is no duty to retreat if legally present, meaning you're supposed to be there. He was supposed to be there. Karmelo is supposed to be there. Now, I did see multiple different reports where some people say that Metcalf wasn't supposed to be there, while others are saying that he was supposed to be there and that he was on the roster. I wasn't able to get a clear thing there, so I'm just going to give you guys both sides, okay? So there also must be a reason to believe that there is a threat. All right. So self-defense applies only if the threat is perceived as immediate and unlawful at the time. Verbal threats alone usually do not justify physical retaliation. Okay. Now, you also must have proportion of force, meaning eye for eye. Okay. It must be even. So the force used must be proportional to the threat. Deadly force is justified only to prevent death or serious bodily injury. Okay. There also must be the defense. So you also can have a defense of others. You may defend others under the same rules as defending yourself. And if you provoking, okay, so if you provoke a confrontation, you cannot claim self-defense unless you clearly withdraw and the other a person begins to be aggressive. Now, here's the thing. His statements is more stronger than what people are taking it for, okay? The touch me thing that can be taken in a way, and asking the officers is he's going to be okay, that can also be utilized, and as well as him basically saying that he did it in self-defense, like he was protecting himself, that can also be used as well. Isn't there a famous basketball player with the same name? Yes. So in response to this situation, there has been multitudes of GoFundMe's that has been put out there for both sides, okay? For Karmelo and for Austin, and both have raised a significant amount of money. So there was two GoFundMe's that was set up for Austin, okay? And then there was also two set up for Karmelo. Now, one for Karmelo, apparently people reported it and got it shut down, and then the family took it to another platform where it has raised almost like 200,000, I believe. And so they both have received a significant amount, whether it be for Carmelo's, for his needs when it comes to lawyers and things of that nature, or whether it becomes for the services for Austin and the family. Both have received a significant amount of money. So the Frisco police do continue to talk to people, okay? They're saying that there are 75 plus so far in witnesses, body cam footage, and stadium surveillance footage that is also under review right now. Officers are also working with both families to ensure safety and transparency does happen, okay? Hey, 80s baby. Autopsy reports have not been publicly released right now, while there has been a falsified autopsy report that was released. Okay. Now, The ongoing question in this case is, was the level of force used truly self-defense or was it excessive? Now, here's my thoughts on this, okay? Yes, Karmelo was not supposed to be in that area, but at the same time, at no point does Austin have the right to put his hands on anybody. Okay, let's just be clear about that. Regardless of what the verbal disagreement was, Austin had absolutely no right to lay his hands or push or pull or whatever he did to initiate this situation. What we do know is that there was something physical happened on Austin's end for sure. That is something that cannot be questioned. That is something that cannot be debated. That's what we do know for sure. And on that token, he is wrong. Regardless of what, if Karmelo said, hit me, or whatever he said, hit me and find out what happened, or the don't touch me. Regardless of what he said, he had no business putting his hands on him. There are so many administrators, so many teachers, security officers, leadership people that were out there on that field that could have got Karmelo out of that tent and removed him without Austin's assistance. Why did he have a knife in his bag in the first place? That is the question too. Okay. A lot of people are saying, well, only a thug will go to school with a knife in his hand. That's not true. That's not true. A child that goes to school with a knife in their pocket, it can mean that he's a thug. It can mean that he's looking for violence, but it also could mean that he has been getting bullied, and enough is enough. I've seen cases like that. And let's just be honest, we've seen mass shootings. It started off as bullying. It started off as name calling until the victim walks into a school with a gun and mows down so many people. Okay, so are they a thug? No, but the headlines will tell you they were a bully. They were bullied. They were victims because they have been getting put up with so many bullies over the years or over the days and things of that nature. So it can be done on both sides. It can be on both sides of why he had this weapon. And that's the question here too. What was the reason that Karmelo had a weapon at school that day? I mean, at the meet that day? From this being a guy who doesn't have a background, has never been arrested, there's no flaw in his name in regards to aggression or fights or things of that nature. Okay. Why would he suddenly, on this particular day, decide to carry a knife to school? That is the ultimate question in this case. Okay. It is. What happened either in the days leading up or what has been going on in the days prior to this? Because I'm seeing reports where, shoot, I've seen a woman post where she says that her son wanted to, not be here anymore because of the twin brothers. And I have to be honest here. She said it. She posted it to social media. I have to also be honest to say that I've seen reports where they say that the brothers were known bullies in the area. I've seen that. But what I have not seen is they say that Karmelo was. I have not seen that. I have not seen nowhere say that Karmelo was known to be a bully. I have been seeing people speak out to say that about the brothers. Okay? Now, I believe that he had something happen to him constantly, the reason that he had a knife. Yeah, because a child that with so much promise, okay? This child is in articles for saving someone's life. This child, after stabbing someone, said, is he going to be okay? That's not a child with an intent to kill. If he went into this with an intent to kill somebody, he wouldn't be worried if the person was going to be okay. He wouldn't care because he had the intent to do that. So for him to instantly, after all of this happened, say, is he going to be okay? It lets us know that there's some form of instant empathy there, that it was not something that he did purposely, that he didn't walk into this wanting to hurt or harm somebody. There was something that led up to this situation. I don't see this young man going to school with so much promise and so many accolades and deciding that I'm going to throw it all away with this here. But what we can wholeheartedly say, Austin had no business at no point putting his hands on anybody. I'm a mother. One thing, and my daughter, she boxes. She's a trained boxer and has been boxing for the last 2 years. Okay. But what she does know is this: do not put your hands on no one. The only way that she's allowed to put her hands on someone is if someone want to put their hands on her after she have said stop. Say stop one time. And if they proceed to do so, you have the right to protect yourself. And that is law. Because I asked you to stop and you did not stop. And you have to understand that when it comes to these types of things, exactly, a scared person will do some of the most craziest of things, and their after response will let you know that they're scared. Okay? Is he going to be okay? And I'm going to be honest. A lot of people going to say, well, what about it's not alleged I did it. He's going to tell you that. He's scared. He's not going to want to lie because he already feels like he's in trouble. He did something wrong. It's not alleged I did this, but I was protecting myself. I was protecting myself. Now, let's say he would have said, no, I didn't do it. And then he also would have shown no concern for the unfortunate situation with Austin. That would have also showed that he had intent. And that would have also showed that he had no empathy or sympathy for the situation in which he did. But the instant response of fear comes afterward. The actions after that fear comes after. And that is proven. Okay? The actions after the fear proves if this was self-defense. And they're going to, when it goes down to the courts and it comes down to the trial, those statements and what he said, his defense is going to use those statements really heavy in this case, because that shows empathy and it also shows that there was no intent to kill. Keep in mind, in order for you to be charged with first degree murder, you must have intent. You must have intent to kill somebody. Or you must have intent to know that what you did was going to kill someone. You must have that. With him saying, is he going to be okay? That means that it was not his intent to kill anybody. It wasn't. Okay? And that's just honest. It has to be intentional. And while people are running off of what he said, understand why the media are telling you what he said. And it's because those statements are going to be very pivotal in a case. It's going to be very pivotal. Okay? And how he said it and when he said it is very much big in this case. Okay? Doesn't sound like it was intentional. I don't think it was intentional. I think this was a response out of fear. And even with him leaving, he was afraid. Now, they could say in the thing that he tried to run off, it could have been a fear of escape. When you in fear of when you do something out of fear, it's an instant, leave, reject the situation and leave, evacuate. That is a part of a stage of fear. So it's not like that he was trying to leave away from apprehension, because of course he didn't go far. He simply evacuated from that area in order to get away from the situation. Okay? He had remorse right after the situation, asking, is he okay? Show remorse. Plus the other kid had a twin brother and probably was afraid of the backlash of that too. Exactly. These are two football players. These are big boys. When I looked at these pictures, those twins are big boys. Okay? And we know how high school work. It possibly are already rumors about how they were. If we're seeing them on social media about parents speaking out about the twins being bullies and things of that nature, that rumor is out there already. Okay? It's out there about amongst the children already. That these boys have a history of bullying people. And be honest, these same witnesses are going to be some of the witnesses that are going to be on the stand. They may even take victims who possibly were victimized by the twins if the allegations are true, that they were bullies. Okay? They are going to be used in this when a trial does happen. Okay? They are. And that's just honest. I wonder, was he being threatened or bullied in the background but not spoken of. Um, that's what I don't know. Yeah, that's what I don't know. That's what's in question. I've been seeing things. I did see where so I seen where someone said that there was some type of altercation prior to this even happening, but the media says that that isn't true. And these are students that have been coming to social media saying this. The media are saying that the boys didn't know each other. They had no prior passing before. That's what the media is saying. Okay. But I don't see a reason for the children to lie about whether these young men knew each other. Okay. It's not like that they wouldn't even cross paths because they're from the same community. Okay. So they possibly knew each other through playing sports or anything like that. And there could have been other prior things that happened. Or it could have been the allegations of bullying that's surrounding the twins that could have led to this as well. And imagine being one person and you're approaching two big, because these are big boys. Okay. When I looked at these twins, these are two healthy 17-year-olds. Imagine being him and he's, having to face these two boys um during an altercation alone by himself. And not only is he by himself, let's take another step here. He's by himself on the territory of another school. So with him being on the territory of another school, not only does he have the two twins against him, but he has everybody that is on that side against him too, because of course they're going to take up for their classmate. And that's just how high school works. You guys know the culture of high school, okay? You guys know that. They're going to ride with whoever is on their side in that school. And he was on the wrong side. Now, how he ended up there, I believe that they said that he ran under the tent because of the storm, and he ended up being under the wrong tent. He was under the wrong tent. And that's going to come into question too. Was that purposely done, or is just him trying to, get out of the storm? And he accidentally ran into the wrong side, which is understandable. It's an easy mistake happening, especially when you're trying to get out of the way of rain happening. You know what I mean? I don't think the media is accurate on that one. Listen, I don't either. These boys had to cross paths in some way, guys. Come on, they're from the same school. They're from the same community. Okay, the school's name is almost the same. They're so closely in together. Okay, they had to cross paths in some way. They both are athletes. Okay, whether they've played with each other prior to, or they ran across each other at an event or something, they had to know each other in some way whatsoever. Okay, the school names are almost even close, so it's not like that they're going against a school from a whole nother area of the state. The schools are literally close together. Okay, um this is happening to my son. I would like to talk to you about it. Okay, so you can either email me about it, which you can email me, or you can submit a tip and I can cover it. But if you would like me to talk to you one on one, let me see if I have a banner with my email. I believe I do. Let me see. Okay, let me put it here and make it come across the screen. Uh-oh. Let me see. Um, Come on, thing. It's not working. Why is it doing this? Okay. There we go. Right there. Bullying, yeah. Bullying is serious. Bullying is a very serious thing. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a case of a young girl. One was African American, one was Caucasian. It caused the uproar just like this. Okay. And the African American young girl, she was getting off the school bus. They were at a bus stop. The other girl got off the bus stop with her. Okay. The other girl, the Caucasian girl, had been bullying the girl for a while. But when the fight happened, it went across social media. Okay. And in the fight, the African American girl hit the Caucasian girl first. Okay. Now, when the story began to come out, of course, and I mean, she beat her badly to where she was in the hospital. She had to get some brain surgery and everything, but she did survive, right? You remember that, Miss Dolores? Yeah. And what happened in that case is when they began to get the history of bullying and they learned that the African American girl was she was an all A student. She had multiple scholarships. She was a good girl. But the Caucasian girl, okay, because people had already put her on this victim pedestal, she was known as a bully in school. And the African American girl got out and she was found not guilty because of the previous bullying that had been happening, okay, in that case. And they said that even though she threw the first punch, that first punch could have been out of fear because of all of the previous situations of bullying that happened. Yet she was in a coma. Yeah, because all of the previous situations that happened. So that bullying stuff, guys, if that comes out to be true, okay? If those allegations come out to be true, it will weigh heavy on this case as well because that shows of why that would be it would assist in proving why he responded the way that he did. Okay? Why was he so quick to respond like that? All right? Now, my only concern, I have to give you guys my concerns, okay? Is that in the state of Texas there must be a proportional force, okay? Basically eye for eye. Now, Metcalf pushed him or shoved him and moved him away from the tent. And he responded by pulling out that weapon. They will then ask, is that proportioned? Okay. Now, if the allegations are true in regards to both of the brothers doing something to him, okay, this is two people. All right. Not one anymore. This is two. It can be balanced as proportioned. And that's just me being honest. Why? Because this is two people that is attacking him at one time. And at that moment, he could have felt that he was in danger or there was a threat if those allegations come out to be true. Yes, stuff like this definitely does divide us, and that's what they're doing. When I see people that are I seen someone post, guys. I think I have it. I think I want to show y'all. Give me 1 second so I can point it out to you so that you can know what it is. Thank you, Jeanette. You just now entered into the raffle. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you a lot. Make sure that you're here to hear your name, okay? If you're chosen at the end of the month. Alrighty. I want to show you guys this picture because I want you guys to be able to point out falsified things, okay? I think this is it here. This is not real, guys. Okay? This is not real. And I'm going to explain to you why this isn't. This person, David, or whoever this is that is posting this, first of all, okay, officers are not supposed to go to social media outside of, they're not supposed to go outside of the police department's used social media platforms. Okay. And I'm explaining to you why. Because police officers lose protection of the First Amendment when they are under the guard of an officer, meaning on duty. Okay, that is law. But when they become a civilian, they gain the protection of the First Amendment. It's kind of crazy, but that's how it works. Okay. Now, due to this, what they have found is that many officers, what they do is they make secondary accounts in order to gain the protection of the First Amendment. Because the things in which they cannot say under the guard of officer, they can say under the guard of First Amendment. Okay. Now, due to this, many police departments have begun to create a social media policy on how officers are supposed to operate when it comes to social media. Many times, police departments have a way to communicate with the public on social media, and it is through either their communications team or they may have someone that is leadership that controls who puts out information. So, unless it comes from the known social media platform that is used by that police department, don't take it as fact. Okay? If it's coming from a random page of a random person and it does not identify as an officer or someone that is closely connected to the organization, do not take that as fact. Okay? Because they can get in trouble for that. They can get reprimanded, they can get suspended, they can be put they can lose job, they can get terminated, they can get write-ups that is documented if they decide to go outside of the investigation and release information or statements without the approval of leadership. Okay? So when y'all are seeing these these fake autopsies pop up and these fake statements from the authorities, thank you, Ms. Dolores, do not take that as fact if it does not come from the proper platform. Okay? Please, because that is what's also adding to this case. People are using this to create a racial divide amongst the people, and it's kind of crazy. Okay, they're using this to spew racism. They're using this to attack other people. That's what they're using this case for. And this case is unfortunately bad on both sides. One family lost a child due to this, and one family lost a child to the system due to this. Out of one situation that only took 60 seconds and it has changed two family lives. So if you are an adult and you have children, you should not be on social media using this case as a pawn, because let me tell you, life is a crazy thing and it has a strange way of teaching you a lesson. Of anything, use this case to spread awareness about bullying and why this should not happen. Use this case to talk to your children about bullying. Use this case to talk about why no weapon should be at school. Use this case to talk about how when your child run into a altercation, how they need to go directly to someone that is in leadership, whether it be an executive, a principal, or whoever it is. Use this for that. Don't use this to spew hatred, because there's sadness on both sides. There is no win in this. There is no win in this case. Regardless of how you guys look at it, and they're playing the race card, there is no win in this. Okay? At all. Alrighty, guys. So, Bigo's side of things. We're about to get ready to go over there. I am going to read you guys the affidavit for this case. All right. And we're going to talk about it a little bit more. And we're also going to look at some of the interviews from the media, from the family, and just, have the conversation about it. So the after YouTube after show will be happening on Bigo as always. And we're going to talk a little bit about it, have a discussion about it, and see what we come up with. Okay. It's definitely sadness on both sides for sure. Sadness on both sides for sure. Alrighty, guys. Now. Alrighty. And thank you, guys. Thank you, Jeanette, for the super sticker. And thank you, Miss Dolores, for the super sticker. Make sure that you guys are here for the raffle at the end of the month, as it will be pulled. Okay. Thank you guys so much for the support today. I appreciate you so very much. Bigo, I am on my way to you guys. And thank you. Make sure that you guys please like this video if you like this video. Also, if at any time that you would like me to cover any specific topic, you can go to savageroyalty.com and you can submit a tip. You can also remain anonymous. Also, if you are someone that is looking to be interviewed about anything, as you guys know, I do cover cases of injustice. I cover cases of child abuse and neglect, missing persons, or anything that is high profile and true crime. Okay. Those are my areas of discussion. So if it's anything that you guys would like me to cover, you can either submit a tip to savageroyalty.com, or if you want to put your story out there for more exposure or just to create a discussion, you can email me at savageroyaltyent@gmail.com. Okay. savageroyaltyent@gmail.com. And thank you for watching True Crime with Savage Royalty.